In 2022, Her Majesty the Queen became the first British monarch to celebrate a Platinum Jubilee after 70 years of service. We are excited to celebrate Her Majesty's historic reign and hope you enjoy this wonderful assembly.
Little People, Big Dreams, Queen Elizabeth. Written by Maria Isabel Sanchez Vergara, illustrated by Melissa Lee Johnson. Once upon a time in London lived a little girl with a huge sense of duty. Her parents and little sister used to call her Lilibet. To the rest of the world, she was Princess Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, King George's granddaughter. Elizabeth loved dogs and horses and dreamt of living on a farm. But one day she heard chants on the streets. Her uncle Edward had given up the crown, which meant her father would become a king and she would be heiress to the throne. The family moved to Buckingham Palace and the 10-year-old princess left her old life behind. From that day on, she would be taught how to be the next queen. The first lesson was simple. A good queen served her people, not the other way round. Not 3 years had passed when Britain was forced to enter a terrible war. Even in the darkest nights, under the enemy's bombs, Elizabeth never lost hope that a brighter day would come. She sent a message to all children telling them so.
My sister Margaret Rose and I feel so much for you, as we know from experience what it means to be away from those we love most of all. To you, living in new surroundings, we send a message of true sympathy, and at the same time we would like to thank the kind people who have welcomed you to their homes in the country. All of us children who are still at home think continually of our friends and relations who have gone overseas, who have travelled thousands of miles to find a wartime home and a kindly welcome in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and the United States of America. My sister and I feel we know quite a lot about these countries. Our father and mother have so often talked to us of their visits to different parts of the world. So it is not difficult for us to picture the sort of life you are all leading, and to think of all the new sights you must be seeing, and the adventures you must be having. But I am sure that you too are often thinking of the old country. I know you won't forget us. It is just because we are not forgetting you that I want, on behalf of all the children at home, to send you our love and best wishes, to you and to your kind hosts as well. My sister is by my side, and we are both going to say good night to you. Come on, Margaret. Good night, children. Good night, and good luck to you all.
She was 19 and had just finished her training as a driver in the army when the war ended. After waving the crowds from the palace's balcony, she and her sister set off to join the street celebrations in secret, swept along by happiness and relief. Elizabeth fell in love with a charming prince called Philip and saved her ration coupons to buy the fabric for her wedding dress. More than 350 people worked to make it. After the horrors of the war, the country had something to hope for.
The eyes of the world are centred on Buckingham Palace. Into the dull November morning, two greys draw the Irish stagecoach. Inside, Her Royal Highness Princess Elizabeth and her father.
I, Philip,
take thee, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary,
take thee, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary,
to my wedded wife,
wife.
Outside the palace, 100,000 people surged forward in a solid mass.
Again and again the people called for Elizabeth and Philip. Again and again they joyfully responded.
But Elizabeth's happiness was overshadowed not long after by the death of her dear father. Overnight, the young princess became queen of kingdoms all over the world, from England to faraway South Africa.
When she is anointed with the consecrated oil, when she takes into her hands the orb, the scepter, and all the other symbols of royalty, such as the sword, the bracelets, the spurs, and when homage is paid in forms prescribed by the traditions of 1,000 years, her people are pledging themselves on their part to honor the sovereignty of the nation in her person, and to work with her in maintaining the constitution which she has taken her oath to support. A solemn hush broods over the empty streets as the procession is marshalled for the return journey. As it wends its way back to the palace, the people by their chairs are confirming a pact between the Queen and her subjects that can almost be likened to a marriage, a union till death us do part.
Being the Queen was not a fairy tale, but a full-time job with a long list of duties that needed to be fulfilled. From receiving important guests and meeting the Prime Minister every week, to addressing the nation and opening dozens of ceremonies, it was exhausting.